everyone, Kiki here. Welcome back to my channel. We're back with another Vlogmas video. First of all, I apologize for the lack of videos. Last week, I got hit with this massive project for my business that needed to get done as soon as possible in order for me to launch it before the end of the year. That took over my whole life last week. And then on top of that, I hurt my knee. I'm like limping around my house and it's really painful, but we're back and we are going to end Vlogmas strong. I got some fun stuff coming. Today we're going to do a Q&A. I asked some questions over on Instagram and I'm just going to answer some of the DMs that I get frequently. I tried to just sit down and answer them, but I was really bored. So I figured I would do kind of a get ready with me and answer your questions. So I need to do this hair and this makeup. I'm not gonna focus on what I'm using on my face and stuff because I already did a video on all those products and I'm using the same stuff today. I'm just gonna focus on answering the questions. So let's get started. My hair is like really struggling right now. I think I'm gonna do like a big chop and then just do protective styles for the winter. It's not being taken care of very well. About a year ago, I was in my friend's wedding and I got a sew-in for the first time in years. And I had to do a leave out. And then by the time I took it out, my leave out was completely burnt and damaged. And I just can't stand that look. So I like cut off, I just cut it off. That's why like it's really short up here, but whatever, it's hair, it grows back. Let's start the Q&A. I look like Frederick Douglass. First question, and far the most frequently asked, is whether or not I am dating, in a relationship, married. And I am very much single, you guys. There's no man in my life currently. Now, I, of course, am open to dating. I have put myself out there probably the last year or so, and I've been on dates. It just hasn't worked out with anyone. But right now, I'm super, super single, and I'm in my late 20s, so my tolerance and my patience is in the toilet. Like, don't waste my time. I literally just blocked somebody the other day because it was the inconsistency and inability to back up their words with actions for me. Like, no, if it's one thing that I learned over the years with dating is that if somebody is saying they'll do something or saying they feel a certain way, but they're not demonstrating it and backing up their actions, then it's a no. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm not about to sit here and ask a grown man to act right and act accordingly. Come correct. Okay? Or don't come at all. Would you ever move to LA? A lot of influencers do. So sometimes I do feel completely out of the loop living all the way over here in New Jersey. And I've only been to LA once, but I can totally see why content creators, influencers move out to California, because just in the week that I was there for Whitney's event, I met so many people and made so many connections. I was like, oh, wow. Now I can totally see why people move here. Like the connections and the opportunities that you have living there is nuts. So I absolutely do feel out of the loop living here in New Jersey. I mean, it's nice to have like Philly right there and then I can get to New York City pretty quickly, but it's not nearly as much action as LA. So for right now, I don't have any plans of moving. I don't think I'll live in New Jersey for the rest of my life. And I'll be even more honest with you guys, California is expensive. I'm gonna keep it 100. Like and to be honest, if I can make enough money to move there and live there comfortably is the key word, then I think it'd be a blast and I think it would be great for me. I don't know, we'll see y'all. What is the best thing about being an influencer and the worst? The best thing I would say is being able to be creative. I've always been into art and design ever since I was a kid. And when I went to college, I chose not to major in it because I truly just didn't feel like it was practical. Obviously, looking at my life now, I wish I just saw that through and did some type of art in college. I did major in photography for a semester and then I kind of chickened out and chose something more, I guess, like comfortable. And it's crazy because if I would have just saw that through, it would have taken what I do now to the next level. So that's what I love about being an influencer and just having so many opportunities to work with brands, travel, connect with people. It's nuts. Even though I have the platform that I have and I post, sometimes I just don't think people care. It's a weird feeling, but every once in a while, someone sends me a message about how much I motivate them and inspire them. And it reminds me of why I do what I do. So if posting my workouts and the stuff that I post helps people, then I love that. As far as the worst thing, probably just dealing with, over the years, I've honestly become kind of desensitized to negativity online and people just making fun of my body and stuff like that. Because think about it. I mean, I've been at some pretty low points in my life, but I've never been so low that I said, you know what, I'm going to create a fake profile and I'm going to go tell that person they're fat and they're ugly. It's giving weirdness. It's giving you need help. But sometimes it definitely can get to you. And the amount of love and support that I get definitely outweighs that negativity. Next question is, do you have any family? I never see you talk about them. So long story short, if I can find my foundation brush. Long story short, when I graduated college, my grandma retired and she decided to move down to Florida, and my entire family, like immediate and extended, decided to go down with her. So of course, my mom, all of my siblings, my aunts and uncles, cousins, all decided to pack up and move down to Florida. And for me at the time, like I just graduated college, and then for a month later to move to Florida, it was just way too drastic of a change for me. I'm sure anyone knows that's graduated school, like that change in itself and getting thrown into the real world is just so surreal. And I was dealing with a lot. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stay in New Jersey and not go with my family. So I'm rocking it out by myself here in Jersey. And as far as siblings, I'm one of 5. I'm the second oldest. I have an older brother, 2 younger sisters, and a younger brother. So one of 5. But yes, definitely have lots of family. And it's definitely not fun living somewhere by your complete self. I mean, I'm happy I did it because I feel like that was a huge way for me to grow after college, just leaving where I was born. I was born on Long Island, New York. Just getting away from where I was born and getting into a new environment and just trying to adult and live. I think it was overall a great decision for me, but now I would definitely love for my family to be closer because sometimes it's hard just being by yourself all the time. How old are you? I get this question a lot. I am currently 29 years old. And my zodiac sign, I am a Cancer. I feel like I never meet any Cancers. Like it's a rare occasion that I meet another Cancer. I don't know why. I know everyone says that their zodiac sign is the best, but I personally think Cancers are the best. Any plans to get Buffy a sibling? Listen, I love the idea of getting a second pup because I feel like Miss Buff is always just bored and looking for some entertainment, and I think she would absolutely love to have a sibling, and I would love a second dog as well. But to be honest, the amount that I travel, I don't think it would be fair to get a second dog because every time I travel, I do have to board Miss Buffy, and I think this next year coming up, I will be traveling a lot more. So to get a second dog and not be able to be home as much with them is just really not the best choice right now. And especially boarding is so expensive. Now if things slow down or I find someone to watch Miss Buff, then I would totally get a second dog. But as of right now, unfortunately, it's just me and the Buffinator. Look at her. Do you want a sibling? How to grow on social media and get brand deals? Consistency. That's it. I think a lot of people, when they try to start social media, they either just kind of don't go in all the way, and that's not the way to do it. If you really want to start a platform, you have to start it and you have to commit and not be ready to give up because your channel or your page didn't grow overnight or within a month. The amount of people that start and then quit after a few months because no one followed them is like, come on now. I think I was posting for a solid 1.5 years before my page actually picked up traction. To be honest, after a year, I was kind of like, yeah, maybe people just don't like me. That's why they're not following me. And that's fine. I'll just move on. And then literally a few weeks later, my page got its first kind of like viral post. And I gained thousands of followers, and it just was history ever since then. And keep in mind that that's after a year of posting. Nowadays, if you are interested in social media, I would totally start out on TikTok. TikTok right now, I find it way easier to grow on TikTok than Instagram ever was. Like back in the day when Instagram first started, it was super easy to kind of blow up and get followers. But nowadays, if you're just focusing on Instagram, it's super, super tough. So if you have the time and effort to only put into one platform, I would totally go over to TikTok, because social media is moving more toward video content. And yeah, so as far as growing, you have to post consistently. You can't post once a month and just hope it does well or goes viral, and that's not the case. And as far as brand deals, 90% of the brand deals that I've gotten are from brands finding me on social media. So they find me mainly on Instagram, because that's my main platform, but they can find me on YouTube as well and TikTok. And they just reach out to me and say, hey, we love your content, we would love to work with you. And the brand deal takes off that way. I think like 2 or 3 times I've worked with brands. I reached out to them because it was a brand that I really wanted to work with, and I established a relationship that way. But not all brands are receptive to that, so just keep that in mind. But it doesn't hurt. If you're a content creator and there's a brand you really want to work with, you can reach out. Sometimes it does turn into a paid opportunity, and other times they may decline, or they may just offer to send you some product, which is nice as well. But I mean, I can probably make an entirely separate video on this, but as far as growing, just get consistent, make sure you have a clear message, and just make sure your content is very clear and concise. Like if a brand right now were to go and click on your page, would they be like, okay, what's going on here? What is this person even about? Or will they click on it and be like, wow, this is amazing, this is gorgeous, this person clearly does this person clearly does that. Yeah, but the name of the game is consistency. A few questions about college and the degree I have, and if I had to rewind time, would I do it again? First of all, yes, I did go to college. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and I minored in IT. College, I do have different feelings about college. I'm not gonna lie, my goal when I graduated high school, like I really wanted to work like in corporate America. I couldn't wait to have my cube, one day have my office and just climb and break the glass ceiling and be this awesome corporate titan. And 3 years into doing that, I was like, wow, this is miserable. 2.5 years in, it got so mentally unhealthy for me that's when I had to start going to therapy, because I was leaving work and waking up in the morning with my chest completely tight, and I thought I was having a heart attack. And at the time, I was like 24. So I was like, yeah, this isn't right. There is no way I should be this stressed out over a job that wasn't even paying me that much, if I'm being super honest. But to be honest, that's what I wanted when I graduated college. Like I couldn't wait for that. And then a few years in, I realized that wasn't it. So if I had to rewind time and I was 17 again, I would have still went to college. I would have just made a better decision. I made the decision to go to college at a very expensive university, and at a university that truly did not have the major that I wanted. And thinking back, it's because I was 17 at the time making this decision. Like 17-year-olds are still kids. They don't know what they're signing up for. And most people cannot decide at that age what they want to do for the rest of their life. So the school that I went to actually recruited me for track, so they gave me a partial scholarship. And even with a partial scholarship, I still had to take out a ton of loans. And just looking back, like I didn't have anyone to help me or sit me down to talk to me about that decision. I just said, yeah, they're a Division I school and I want to do sports, and I'll take out $10,000 of loans. But if I had to rewind time, I absolutely would not make that decision. I would have probably just stayed in state, went to a super cheap school, probably done a few years at community college, or went to a state school that was a fraction of the price and actually had what I wanted to major in. I really wanted to major in like website design, graphic design, and stuff like that, because I was so good at it in high school. And it blows my mind that I didn't see that through, because if I had that education and knowledge now, I mean, like, look what I'm doing as far as content. But yeah, I'm all for college, but I'm all for making a good decision. Like I said, a lot of kids don't know what they're signing up for and they don't know what they're choosing. But yeah, if I had to rewind time, I would totally go to college again. I would just choose the major that I genuinely felt passionate about. And I would go to a school that wasn't going to leave me in massive debt. Some debt, yes, but lots of debt to get your undergrad degree is just not worth it in my opinion. So yes, loved college, had a good time, but I would totally do it differently if I had to do it all over again. All right, wrapping this up soon. My makeup is coming out like garbage because I'm not focusing on it. I'm focusing on the questions, but which is my next question. People asking me how long I've been working out and how I got into it. So for me, that's always a hard question for me because I did sports my entire life. I think I started playing basketball when I was like 12. And then I played basketball all throughout high school. And then I started track when I was in 10th grade, which is when I started throwing discus. And long story short, I did track to stay in shape for basketball, but then I wound up being really good at track and throwing discus. And school started recruiting me, so I started focusing on that. But I started weightlifting when I was like 14 or 15. So when people ask me how I started working out, it's kind of an awkward question because I've always worked out, which answers another question on here, what I did in college. So I was a thrower. I was on my college's track team. My main thing that I did was discus. If you know anything about discus, I was okay at it. My personal best was around 150 something feet. That was my main event, but I also threw everything. So I threw shot put, which I was terrible at, but my coach forced me to do it. So embarrassing. But yes, I did shot put, I did hammer and weight throw. My coach made me throw javelin like twice and it was a joke. It went like 2 feet. All right, my last question, how did you handle weight gain throughout the years? So yes, I've talked about it over here on YouTube and a little bit on Instagram as well, but I've definitely put on a decent amount of weight throughout the pandemic. And I mean, at first it was the drastic change in what I was doing, right? Going to the gym 4 to 5 times a week. I was leaving the house every day to go to the office and getting those steps in. And I went to gyms closing, not needing to leave the house. I was literally rolling out of bed and just walking 10 feet to my desk. And that change in routine kind of threw me for a little bit. And in the beginning, I felt like I was thriving and doing okay. But after a few months, I started to struggle mentally throughout the pandemic, and mentally to the point where I got into such a dark place that I was like, if I go to sleep tonight and I don't wake up, that's fine with me. Like, those are the thoughts that I were having. That's how much of a dark place I was in. To be going through all that, I completely stopped working out because that was not a care that I had. I just was at a point where I felt like nothing mattered. I truly felt like if I went to sleep, didn't wake up, no one would even notice that I was missing. And it wasn't a good feeling. So when you're having thoughts like that, and then, you're not focused or caring about working out, you're not caring about getting enough protein in and make sure you're not eating enough calories for the day. So I went through a period of months where all of my meals, I couldn't even get up the energy to cook. All of my meals were from Uber Eats. I stopped working out. I know I was getting messages on Instagram of people asking me if I was okay because I went a month without posting. I post workouts on Instagram, so if I'm not working out, then that means I have nothing to post. So I was in a very dark place. And when you're having those thoughts, the last thing you care about is how you're supposed to look. And then to deal with the constant critiques on social media about the weight gain and how much bigger I've gotten, that didn't really help either. So I tried to be as open as possible. I was getting loads of messages and comments from people saying that I've put on weight, I shouldn't be on social media, I don't deserve to be a fitness influencer because I put on weight. Endless messages of people saying that and pointing out the fact that I've gotten bigger. I literally got a message from a girl the other day, and it's not necessarily someone I knew personally, but long story short, it's someone that I'm kind of affiliated with. And she didn't mean to send me the message. She meant to send it to someone else. And she said if she gets any fatter, she won't be able to fit Gymshark anymore. And that one really hurt my feelings because 9 times out of 10, it's trolls sending you messages, but to see a real message from a real account that was clearly an accident and they meant to send it to someone else, just really got under my skin and definitely hurt my feelings. I did respond to her and I said, I can't say the first thing that I said because that would give away the affiliation. But as far as working with a great company like Gymshark, number one, they don't care that I've gained weight or that my body has changed. That's not the reason why they work with me. that's not the type of company that they are, and it's never been an issue. But yeah, it became very difficult, and sometimes I did second guess myself and say, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be on social media anymore because my body has changed. But I had to check myself because I always felt like I had a very realistic approach to fitness, unlike some other fitness influencers who are like live, die, and breathe by working out. Like, no excuses by any means necessary. Their whole life revolves around fitness, and that was never my brand. Fitness is a part of my life. It's not my entire life. Going through something or going through a dark place, I don't think I need to apologize, and I don't think I owe anyone an explanation about my body. And if you gain some weight, it is not the end of the world. But part of that weight gain, like I said earlier, is just also not feeling myself. So one of my goals next year is to really actively get back to my old self and really start to snap out of it and focus on loving myself again, getting back into my routine, getting back to that girl that used to really just get everything done. I want to have a massive year for 2022. If you were interested in any of the products that I used almost the same exact products from the makeup routine that I posted the other day. So be sure to check that out. I just wanted to make sure I focused on the questions and I didn't get too sidetracked talking about the questions and the products. But that is all for today's Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to try to finish Vlogmas strong. I'm so sorry for slacking last week. But we are gonna finish strong. I have some really fun videos coming up, so stay tuned. Me and Buffy will see you in the next video. Buffy, would you like to say goodbye? Thank you so much for picking up your neck to acknowledge us. Say goodbye. All right. All right, but I hope you guys enjoyed. That is all for today. I will see you in the next video. Bye.